Korea. Check out David Darcy.
The flame is screaming loud. Turn on us and the voices in the crowd. Lock him up and throw him in the cell. They didn't really do anything up full well. So fun and burn. The flame is screaming loud. Turn on us and the voices in the crowd. And when it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a taste hero. Human revenge is a scapegoat of political aims, and no one knows if you did it or not. If you've done the right day, you take what you got. And when it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a dead hero. And when it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a dead hero. When it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a dead hero. Screaming loud, turn on us and the voices in the crowd. Lock him up and throw him in the cell. They didn't really do anything up full well. And when it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a dead hero. And when it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a dead hero. He didn't do it, he wasn't there. I didn't really care. He didn't do it, he wasn't there. I didn't really care. When it was over, where did you go? To look at the photo of a dead hero.
Hello, a very warm welcome to all you moon stompers out there. Hope you're doing okay. I'm Mrs. Moon Stomper.
And I'm Mr. Moon Stompers, if you couldn't guess, but then again, I figured you knew that already.
He always says that.
The returning OGs, that is, if you're new to the channel, then thank you for stopping by, we really appreciate it. And for all you OGs out there, thanks for returning. Guys, we really appreciate it.
Couldn't do it without you.
No, we couldn't, could we?
No.
Could we not?
Hell no.
Well, we could.
No.
I could start an argument in an empty room, though, but you know, okay, fair enough.
He ain't lying neither.
And isn't the channel doing well?
Again.
Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much indeed. Yeah, we've had all sorts of comments. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. But fair enough.
Each to their own.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinions, guys, and keep them coming. We're not going to knock you for it.
Nah.
Are we?
I wouldn't.
Nah, me neither.
No.
So, the business.
The business.
The business, not to be confused with the film The Business.
Okay.
That with Danny Dyer, which is absolutely
yes.
crap, to be honest with you. But I just thought I'd mention that. No, right. The Business, what a band.
I know.
What a band. And a long career, I wouldn't say illustrious, but still a brilliant career.
Oh yes.
And for me, one of the best bands, actually.
They're right up there with the rest of them, rest of the good ones.
Well, these are a little bit different for me, and the reason being is to me, they didn't get entangled and embroiled in politics and race.
That's it.
Which some other bands did. Not all bands did.
No.
But it was being tarred with the same brush, was it not?
Yes, it was.
So these guys, right, so started in 79 in Lewisham, South London.
Yes, it was 79.
And it's the one and only legend that is Mickey Fitz.
Yes,
on the vocals and Steve Kent on the guitar.
Yes.
Nick Cunningham, and Martin Smith not Smith with two F's, Smith,
Smith.
on the bass. Yeah, all school friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they were little itty bitty little boys.
Yeah.
So
That's my kind of band actually. That
starting
really is.
from when you're in junior school up to secondary school.
I've got to say, yeah, absolutely. And the fact they were on the sort of like the pub circuit and stuff like that, it's, you know, it's just one of those bands that's not beyond the reach of normal people.
I see.
So they're not, you know, nowadays when bands form, they're just beyond the reach of everyone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, and it's
It's
they're
not the same.
no, they're in a bubble, aren't they? Almost.
They are.
And that's kind of a shame. It really is. But it's again a hard-working band, a working-class band.
Oh yes.
Proud of the roots, and
So they should.
not afraid to say it. No one likes us, and we don't care. Need I say any more? So,
Gosh.
Mrs. Moonstomper, start the bidding. Not that it's
Oh.
not that it's an auction, but I'm sure I'm damaging my. Yeah, serves me right. What do you know about the business then?
There was them performed under a few labels as well. These
They have,
these,
yeah. Now
popular labels.
they have. Now they didn't, right? So starting in '79, they didn't get instant fame.
No.
Uh,
Like a lot of other ones that started early, they didn't become popular till
working band, a proper
a
working
couple,
band,
3 years later maybe.
proper gigging working band, and it's well, I'd say it's a refreshing change, but every band was like that in those days.
Yes, there
you know,
was.
you had to work your way up, and if you got the gig, you got the gig. If you didn't,
then-
you did it next time, did you
That's
not?
it, you try again, yes.
Yeah.
At first you don't succeed and all that.
So, I mean, they started out by they played gig for some mates or something like that, and then I think
Yes, they did.
Lol Pryor became their manager.
Yes, he did.
And then they went more often, and they did their first single, which was I think it was Out in the Cold, if I remember rightly.
Yes, yes.
In roundabouts was about 81 I think,
I
something
think,
like that.
yes. Yeah, Lol Pryor was is a co-founder of these such labels. Yes. Such as Syndicate, Harry May Link.
They were on Secret. So Secret was the sort of I think Secret also did Four Skins and Combat 84 as well.
Yes.
If I remember rightly.
I think there's a whole group of them that
Yeah, but
he managed for.
I think Secret, if I remember rightly, started in about 1980, and they didn't last long.
Oh, I see.
It was a typical punk DIY label.
It
And
only lasts for a short time.
yeah, and do you know, as we said in the last resort, those are probably the best labels
Yes.
in as much as they do it for the music.
Okay.
But they haven't got the best recording facilities, or they can't get hold of the best recording facilities, because after all, those cost money. Cost an absolute fortune, in fact.
They do work hard and do their best to succeed and make it somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Right, so when they first came out, they weren't sort of like really associated with Oi, but it was only when they supported the sort of Four Skins in,
Skins,
I think it
yes.
was about 80...
81.
Okay, 81,
81,
yeah. That they sort of got the Oi
The Oi
label,
movement. Oh, yes.
as it were.
Oh, yes.
Now, at that point, between sort of 81 and sort of 83, Oi was taking a kicking.
Oh, I see.
It was taking a raw kicking because it was mainstream press again. It's far
Yeah,
right,
they
it's
go
extremist,
again.
it's racist, it's just oh man.
We're just
And
sticking all these labels onto
yeah,
these
exactly.
non-existent labels as so unnecessary.
And let's go back to the roots of punk, the roots of street punk.
I see.
It's against the system. That was the whole point. It's two fingers up to the system, and it's a social sort of, it's. I don't want to say communist because it's not,
Oh, is that C
but
word?
it's just two fingers up to the system.
Two Vicky V's.
Yeah, but the problem is with that is quite often the system is right wing,
Yes.
but not extreme right wing. Not that politics should really matter anyway, but it's just
It's there in your face whether you like it or not,
yeah.
as we always say.
But no, these guys were a little bit different, as we sort of said.
Yes, they
Earlier.
stood for no nonsense, all this fascist, racist, communist stuff
Well, they
they
didn't.
didn't deal with.
No, they. I mean, the biggest issue with these is they got caught up in the gig at the Hambrough Tavern,
Oh, I see.
the Southall.
Oh, that's the one that got
Right,
burnt
yeah.
down. to
They
the
got
ground.
caught. They got caught up in that with the Foreskins and the Last Resort.
Oh, the last resort.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And they, then the label came then, didn't it? It was, the government got involved, and it was just how to get rid of these bands.
Damn.
But even right now, I'm going to say, I think that people should have a platform,
Yeah.
not for their rotten politics, but they should have a platform for their art.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And even if it's right wing, then so be it. You don't have to listen to it.
No,
You know,
just switch off.
Yeah,
Or,
even if it's extreme left wing, you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. Surely.
the
you know.
people do though. They gear themselves up to have an opinion, so to speak,
It's-
and then just get it all wrong.
The opinion, they're entitled to their opinion.
Oh yes, there's
I
always that.
completely understand that. But and there's always a but, there's always a caveat there.
But or however.
And the biggest but is, like you said, getting it wrong.
Yes.
Seeing one side of it. If you see, sometimes if you broaden your horizons, you'll see both sides of it.
You can take
Now,
your blinkers off as well.
the Americans, they got that. As far as I'm concerned, the Americans got it right.
Oh, yes.
Straight away from the early days of sort of the hardcore scene and going into black metal. And if they like the music, they like the music. Screw what the band was saying. Screw the politics. If they liked it, they liked it.
Just for the sound,
Just for the sake, yeah,
the
man.
sound and the scene and the
That's
the fashion as well.
that's rock and roll, man.
Yes.
They got the message.
Oh yeah.
A lot of British people don't get the message.
It just makes me understand why not.
You've only got to flick back to, dare I say, that video on Screwdriver
Oh,
we
yes,
did,
yes.
and the amount of people that triggered was just like, it's like, guys, man,
It's unbelievable. You look
Yeah.
and you think,
Exactly.
what's with you?
Yeah, you were the ones, right, so it wasn't me who chose to be triggered, you were the ones. If you put a
Yes.
comment in that, and it's I wouldn't say it's a bad comment, but an indifferent comment.
Indifferent.
Yeah, so I think somebody put a comment on there the other day. I agree with Screwdriver's politics. Well, there's one fundamental thing wrong with that. It wasn't Screwdriver's politics.
No, it wasn't.
No,
That's where they got that wrong.
that was somebody else's politics.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, so, there you go. But, entitled to your opinion.
Yes.
like I say.
Every time.
Yeah.
But get your facts right. Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
say. Get your facts right.
Well, like we do not. Said.
No, but we have negative. No. We have positive facts. Sorry, not negative. Scrub that.
No, sometimes we do get it wrong. So, guys, we do get it wrong.
We keep it all positive
Yeah,
now.
we'll be the first to admit we get it wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, each and every time.
Keep it positive.
So, going back to the business, pulling the conversation back to these guys. Right, so in terms of taking a stance against it,
Yes.
they did, was it oi against racism and political extremism? But still against the system, sir. That's a hell of a mouthful, isn't it? But I think that's quite cool, actually. And I'm going to say they were along the lines of the Rejects for me
Oh, yes.
in that stance.
Yes. Oh yes.
And musically, I would say musically superior. Not musically superior to the Rejects,
Oh.
but they were a superior group in
Yes.
terms of musical ability.
That's it.
You could hear that straight away. It wasn't like they were learning to play and learning to sing. They could do that already.
That's what they could achieve and what they did
Yeah.
achieve as well.
And they were accomplished, and they hit the nail on the head. But they were known for the catchy tunes. Like
Yes, they was.
it was anthemic again, but really, really catchy as well. And these guys could write a song, like a real mean song.
Oh yes.
So, but yeah, and even then with that too a lot, but they can still criticise like things like communism on the Suburban Rebels.
Oh yes.
Yeah, which is, you know, I mean, yeah,
Gosh, it is what it is.
it is indeed.
Yes. And
So,
that-
oh, sorry, do beg your pardon.
I was going to say Gary Bushell was involved as well because he was a friend of Lowell.
He was indeed, but he actually fell out with the business.
Okay.
Like it was a couple of years later, I think. But with what I'm going to say is, right, I don't know if Lowell Pryor did this band dirty.
All right.
I just don't know.
Oh, I see.
But when they were when their first LP. Now, the first LP, Suburban Rebels, that didn't come out till '83, and that was on Secret Records.
Yes.
At that point in time, Secret Records was on its backside, and it was
man.
about to go bankrupt. Probably through the backlash of Oi,
Yes.
and the backlash for the mainstream media,
Oh man. Yes.
which again, it's really, really unfair because you know these people's jobs at the end of the day.
That's it. Things through no fault of their own. Either.
Yeah, exactly. But
Oh man.
Mickey Geggers from the Rejects,
Yes.
he produced not quite a bit of that LP
Oh, I see.
against their wishes, but they got him in. He produced it, and when they were rehearsing it, it sounded absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
And if I remember rightly, I can't remember which studio it was now. I'll put the name of the studio on the screen if I can think of it, where they actually rehearsed and they recorded it. I think the Exploited had been in, and the Exploited were, I can't remember what they were recording, but they left the Marshalls in there.
Oh, I
And
see.
the business going in there, Steve Kent got the most beautiful sound off their Marshalls because the Marshalls were left in there, and only to the point where, if I remember rightly, the tapes that they recorded were stolen,
Oh yes.
and they ended up with, at best, can be described as a really, really sort of crap mix
All right.
on that first LP. You can hear it's really, really, it's, you know,
That's to re-record everything, didn't they? From,
that
had
they
to do
did.
it all over again.
They did, and it wasn't the same.
Oh,
but
right.
the problem is with recording is this. You can go into a studio and you can either record it as a group together or record it individually.
Oh yes.
And when it's put onto those master tapes, as it was in those days,
Yes.
it's got to be mixed.
Yes.
Then it's got to be mastered as well.
Oh yes.
So it's the skill of the mixer and the skill of the person mastering it. Now, mastering, for those who don't know, that's the final sparkle. So the mix that's the guitars mixed together so you can hear, say if there's two guitars, a bass, drums and vocals and keyboards, you can hear all those
Yes.
roughly evenly. So it doesn't sort of peak and it doesn't sort of trough, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And nothing drowns other people out. Metallica were famous for that.
All right.
Drowning the bassist out.
Oh.
It's just completely, the bass is just
Drowned
completely,
out.
yeah, it's filtered out.
Oh my gosh.
And did Lars Ulrich have a hand in that?
Who knows?
Possibly, maybe. Who knows, yeah.
Was he that
quite-
sort of person? Was he?
Some people are.
Oh right.
Some people
So
are.
like spite. Did he do it on spite? Is he
Yeah,
religious?
well,
I know.
so rumour would have it, but I don't know that. But all I know is you can't hear the bass, and on a few other sort of like LPs and different bands as well, there's instruments you can't hear anything, can't actually hear that.
Gosh.
And then some of it's just due to inexperience. Sometimes it's due to the mixer's interpretation.
Yes.
But they were kind of done dirty on that, and that's a shame. It really is. But still a great LP,
Oh yes.
an absolutely great LP.
It's good. I was just thinking about what you were saying about all the mixing and mastering. If you don't get it, it's like building a wall or a house. You get your foundations and you start building up from the bottom up, and you create this building, and it's going to look all nice and dandy. It's like the band putting all that stuff together and then coming as one.
Yeah, it needs
That's what
to.
that reminds me of.
It needs to, and it's difficult. It's really difficult to just put that finishing sparkle
Yes.
on things. But it's and then some people again they don't play back on different equipment, so you get you know. So
Yeah,
you've got to play
something out of place.
You have
and
to
not
play
so-
back on different equipment.
Yeah, gosh.
Just to
It's going to
be
sound
sure
that
to
little
do-
bit different, isn't it?
Well, yeah, definitely.
From the original.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So going back to the Suburban Rebels bit, I got wrong with the guitar, Suburban Rebels, because the band had changed.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So this is another in through the outdoor band
Yes.
with lots and lots of members.
Oh.
But going back to the release of the debut single Harry May, which spent 3 months in the indie charts
It
in
did.
'81, and that kind of got them the fame they wanted. But by which time they'd changed the band and got, I think it was, who was it? Was it
Smith, Kent and Cunningham.
and didn't they then leave and form something called Cuba?
Cuba, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, but they were formerly in like the Blackouts or something like
Yes,
that.
there
Right,
was.
okay, fair enough.
Blackout.
And then, right, so while making that, right, so Suburban Rebels was never going to be called Suburban Rebels, Rebels? Suburban,
The Rebels on the mind.
yeah, there you go, okay. Suburban Rebels,
Ah,
that was never going to be called that originally, it was going to be called Loud, Proud and Punk
yes.
originally, but while recording that, they actually lost the tapes,
They did.
or lost or stolen, not sure which.
They just went missing.
Yeah, but Mickey Gegg, like I say, Mickey Gegg has produced that for them.
Yeah, yes, he did, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, they had to go. I think they had to go back in again. But prior to that, they'd done Smash the Disco EP
Yes, yes.
as a sort of like a run up to the what's name, and then they'd a short tour. But that LP was just dogged with trouble, like we said
Yes.
earlier.
Oh, dear.
But they got it out there. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then like the fallout, so they fell out with Gary Bushell,
And was it Lowell
Lol
Pryor as well?
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so okay, fair enough.
Gosh, it's a shame
Yeah.
they couldn't get
It's
one.
no, exactly that. But I mean, you know what I will say. I mean, they sort of hit controversy again with the drinking and
Drinking and driving, yes.
Drinking and driving, so they hit real controversy with that, and
Yes.
the press, you know, never want to miss a trick, got straight onto that.
That's it. I think they got them banned or something from airplay or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just
But it's only a song.
yeah, exactly that.
Oh, people are just down on it, man. Oh,
Well, they were in
Can't
those
say
days.
this, you can't say that.
Censorship was different in those
Yeah.
days. Let's not forget. But nowadays, you know, it's hip hop. Wow.
oh well, if you take a listen to like some
Take a listen to the hip hop.
Yes.
You got Missy Elliott talking about a vagina like it's
Oh my gosh.
yeah or whatever. You know, you kind of get the picture.
Yeah, it's
Or
another one singing about
drive-by shootings. You know, wow, great. You know, big
women
deal.
using women for
Yeah.
BITCHES.
all sorts. You know,
And
it's it's quite. You know, it's quite.
And they're not stopped, are they? They're made to just fucking carry on regardless.
There you go, make of that what you will. Yeah. So
Yeah, gosh.
so let's. I think what we should do is we should have a break,
Take a break.
as ever,
Take a break.
and have a watch of this, and we'll be back in a mo. I think. There you go.
Back in a mo.
How you doing, kids? This is Pedro Angel Serrano and
Mickey Fitz.
and
Steve Well from the business.
and this is the life we lead. And we're hanging out in the Palatial Love Lounge, located deep beneath the Pipeline, which is a club in Newark, New Jersey, the city of my birth. Newark, New Jersey, yes. And I'm speaking with the business, who have a new album out. They're touring the States. They're touring all over the place. They have no place to go to apparently, except to just like travel all about no homes. It's really sad. But right now,
It's another story.
for all the folks listening who have no idea who the business are, well, I don't know where you've been. So we're just going to start with some basic questions. And when did the business begin?
We actually got together in 1979, but we didn't start playing shows till 80, so we've been going a while now.
Okay.
Can't count.
Yeah. So,
The kids can add it up, do the math, and they'll figure it out.
all right, yeah, it was 17 years, so we've been together, so.
Yeah.
Put on.
Yeah, you took a bit of a hiatus for a few years, and then you reformed the band. What was the cause of that? Why did you get back together?
What originally happened was we were told that nothing was going on in the States, and we always wanted to go to America.
Okay, you mean musically nothing was going on, as far as like oi and punk rock?
As regards our scene, which we found out was totally untrue when we finally arrived. And cut a long story short, Tim Borah of Artists and Audience phoned us, said, "You want to do a full US tour?" And we went, yeah. And we're still coming back.
Right. I was at the first show that you did in the States, and there were acres of skinheads and punk rockers outside the club and hundreds inside. What did you think when you saw that?
We were absolutely
Surprised?
amazed. It's just, I don't know, pure excitement. I think that's the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
We were just buzzing like crazy. It was fantastic. There's no other word to describe it.
We thought some other band was playing. So who's playing here tonight? There's a lot of people. What's going on?
To watch Metallica.
No, Metallica wasn't playing that. The Metallica show was still, so they came to see you. That was
They
it.
came to see us, yeah, because Metallica had sold out, so they came to see us instead.
Yeah. Okay, and the sound of the band, of course, has changed over time, which is inevitable unless you want. And you discovered hardcore. Hardcore apparently is like crossed the pond, and is really big in England now.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about
Not
that.
really, in Europe. Not
In Europe, but
Right, yeah, England's not too keen on it, but Europe, yeah, they love it.
Oh, yeah,
If you're
that,
going to say that we done Keep the Faith and it sounds like hardcore, it's a load of bullshit. You've got two hardcore albums between us, so there's no way we've done hardcore or anything like that.
we like hardcore, but we don't play hardcore.
I see.
Our music's punk rock.
Okay, punk rock. It's all punk rock to you.
Punk rock. It's all punk rock.
We don't know anything else, so I mean, we couldn't even possibly try to be hardcore. So.
I see it. Okay, yeah, but the sound has definitely changed. I don't want to talk about that a little later. Right now, we're going to just take a little break for all you people who probably get bored from watching some talking bald heads. And we'll be right back after this. And we are back, and this is Pedro again, and this is The Life We Lead, and these are two of the business. And we spoke a little bit about the past of the band, and we're delving into the present right now, and you have a new album out.
We do indeed. It's called The Truth, the Whole Truth, and Nothing But the Truth. There's 14 tracks in 29 minutes of pure, unadulterated punk rock.
Yes, for all you kids watching, I mean, short and fast, that's pretty much it. There's a band called Behead the Prophet, No Lord Shall Live, and a song that's like 3 minutes is an opera for them, okay? It's like fast, and that's just pretty much the standard format for there. No long guitar solos or anything like that?
No guitar solos.
We try to go back to our roots, i.e. Suburban Rebels, like get to basic punk songs, cut all the lead out, all the lead that is in it, but it's very, very basic, you know.
the crap.
Right, very lean, low...
Forward, straight to the point, in your face music.
Yeah, lean, low fat. It's good for the heart.
2% fat.
2% fat at that. And what are we talking about? Beer culture now. So, only slightly. No, we're not allowed to do that. Get away from that. It's root beer. It's root beer. Trust me. Yes, because we're not allowed
If
to.
anybody from this company's watching, we'd like a sponsorship. Because we drink enough of the bleeding stuff.
Yeah, the king of birch beer. It really is.
The king of
All right, no, we're not going to talk about beer. That's for a sacred Sunday when we go to church. We talk about beer. Okay, And
Talk about what he's reading, look.
we'll talk about that later. We ended the first show with something like that, actually. Anyway, okay, cut that out. Anyway, all right. So you've been. This is what? Is this your third time touring the States?
Third full US tour, yeah. This is the biggest one we've ever done.
Yeah. By biggest, you mean cross country type thing?
Biggest in
Audience
cross country, audience-wise.
47 shows in all.
47, something like that.
47 and
3 nights off.
Yeah.
Easy, wasn't it?
yeah.
Easy.
Bit in the ocean.
Okay.
Don't try it, kids.
Don't try it. You put out an EP a while ago called "Death to Dance," and I remember, and this was the first thing I'd heard like from you guys in a while, and you did a punk rock version of a Smith song, and I'll tell you, man, it was like. It was just like brought tears to my eyes hearing the thing. I couldn't.
did to us singing it.
It was beautiful. No, it was really, really beautiful. And I hear a lot of that, like punk bands doing covers of songs you would never think of doing a cover of. I think it has something to do with the millennium coming to an end. Yeah. I really do. What was the story behind doing that?
I don't know.
No, he was on TV in England saying how much he liked skinheads and
Yes.
street rock and oi music and things like that.
Morrissey, you're talking
We
about.
thought we'd murder one of his songs, like to see what he says. And then we went in and recorded it, and that was it. You know, apparently, I think he liked it. I'm not sure because his fan club is based where we live. The guy who does his fan club. So
He's picking up the publishing royalties, so...
I thought it was an inspired cover, and now there's an album out of punk bands doing all Smith
Down by
songs.
Law, and they're all on it, aren't they?
When we recorded it, we had no idea that album was coming out, so it's just pure coincidence from our...
Coincidence? I think not. We're in touch with unseen forces, and I think that's why things like this happen.
Yeah,
The millennium again. All right.
The comet going past.
Right.
All that old bollocks.
Okay, so
All right, follow the comment.
we're going to take another little break, and we'll be right back after this with a little more of the life we lead.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet.
Certainly hope you did. So, we were obviously talking about the business. Now, this band is complex.
Yeah.
It's not a straightforward, they were around for 3 or 4 years, bang, have it, it's done.
Have it.
More splits than God knows what, more comebacks than status quo. It was colourful to say the least, but a great band, energetic. Yes. Now, when they... So, Suburban Rebels, that was released without the band's knowledge.
Oh, yes.
Against the band's wishes, without their knowledge.
Reason, yeah.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't promoted properly.
Oh, okay.
That's all because at the end of the day, Secret didn't have a penny to the name.
Oh, man.
So it kind of, it screwed them over. But Pryor founded Syndicate Records, if I believe. Was it Syndicate or Link? It was Syndicate.
Yeah,
both
Link.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was Syndicate where they redid Loud, Proud and Punk.
Oh,
but
yes.
it wasn't actually a live LP.
Okay.
So it was done in the studio and the crowd was just dubbed over it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But on the back of that, the business reformed off the back of that, and they got more and more gigs, if that makes sense. Then then came the drinking and driving. So then they carried on then, but they formed Link as well. I think it was Pryor and Brennan, if I remember rightly.
Yes.
Who formed both of those, and they did Welcome to the Real World in '88.
It was on Link Records, you said, didn't you?
I think it was on Link.
Yes.
Now, I think they split again, then they reformed off the top of my head, and I think it was the death of, I think it was Bobby Moore actually.
I think it was.
If I remember right, like Football Mad, and it was the death of him where they sort of like they went on and did a like a tribute.
I see. Oh. Is it Bobby Moore from 66 fame?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Bobby Moore.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, unforgettable. 1966. I was there, not.
You weren't at Wembley then, that's for sure. Right, so
Wasn't even born.
in America, right, basically they got their European tours
Yes.
became more and more and more. The band became more and more popular because people realised this wasn't your typical right-wing oi band.
Okay.
This was just it was oi, but it was street punk, but it
a
was
bit
just,
of a
yeah,
difference.
it was just neutral. It was neutral.
Oh,
And they were
yes.
good. They were really, really good.
Brilliant.
So European tours, they got European tours. They went to America.
Yes.
And they had quite a bit of success in America. So unbeknownst to them, they were actually idolised by bands like Agnostic Front.
Oh yes.
And the later bands, that sort of the later incarnation of street punk oi, that came out, bands like the Dropkick Murphys.
Yes.
But I don't regard those as oi really. It's a different sound, but you can see where they're coming from.
Oh yes, yes.
And they actually signed to Tang Records. And now Tang is American.
Yes.
And
Tangs
that,
with 2 A's.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So,
And that was a big deal. In fact, it was a massive deal for the band because it's record labels like that have actually got they've got the clout to push that out, and they did as well.
Brilliant.
But they collabed with the Dropkick Murphys as well in 2000, was it?
I think it was.
Thinking it was Mob Mentality.
Oh yes, Mob Mentality.
Where they did
2000.
They did a collab EP, which was actually really, really good. But Fitz, right? So he was actually suffering with alcoholism as well.
Oh yeah.
On and off.
And his troubles.
Yeah, which is a terrible shame.
It is.
But in 2003, they did Hardcore Hooligan. That was actually it was a Dave Courtney. If you don't know who Dave Courtney is, he was like
that gangster.
a London gangster.
Oh yes, I've seen him.
Quite often, I don't know the bloke, but quite often nicknamed as Plastic Gangster. But make of what you will, I didn't know the bloke.
He was a big guy, wasn't he? He was really.
I don't think he was.
Stocky.
I don't think he was particularly big, but he's just like
guy.
he's a typical like London gangster. He's a face, isn't he? What you call a face.
Okay.
And I think that they did a film. And I've only seen. I don't know if I've seen that or seen bits of it, which was a bit. It was a bit. Yeah, the business did. They did that track, which is quite a good video as well.
All right, I have to look out for that.
Oh, and it's heavy. It's as heavy as hell.
Yes.
In fact, what I might do is make that the ending track actually. But it is. You can hear it's. They've got such a punch. They really have.
Wowzers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yes.
But yeah, great video. Bit strange, but I think you actually see Dave Courtney in that pull up in a Bentley or a Roller or whatever it is on the bloody, I think on London Bridge or whatever it is, or Westminster Bridge or whatever it is.
Whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It has different names, isn't it, that bridge?
I don't know.
Whatever day it is.
I don't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's the one by Westminster Palace. It's that one Westminster Bridge or whatever it's called. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, yeah. So,
Okay.
Anyway, we digress completely.
Back in the room.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
Yeah, the business, and obviously Captain Oi have had some of their stuff and released it, but Captain Oi just released everybody's stuff.
Is it good old Captain Oi?
Yeah, and they were on, was it Epitaph, and then I think they were on Bad Dog as well.
Bad Dog was there, yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
Certainly is indeed. Yeah.
Yes. Some of their other stuff a bit later in the 90s. They're going Keep the Faith as well. Off the studio album.
Yes.
Keep the
That
Faith,
was
Keep the
94. Okay, 94, yeah.
Yes,
okay. And then the whole truth, but nothing but the truth as well in 97.
It's on the Tang label.
Yeah, that was the first one on Tang, yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay, then No Mercy for You as well.
Much late, 2001.
That was their
No
last
Mercy.
studio album.
Ah, see.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Their last studio album, but yeah, brilliant. Absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Then in, I think it was December 2016, tragically,
Oh, Mickey Fitz.
Mickey Fitz, he
lost
lost his
him,
life, yeah,
yes.
absolutely, through
Limbs, cancer of the lymph glands. Yes.
awful.
Sad.
Absolutely. And then the band split after that. And do you know what? I think they actually did the right thing there.
Instead of carrying on like some other bands do. It's not the same when you don't have your main man in the band. When they try to carry on, it just doesn't feel the same. It's just like when Freddie Mercury went and they carried on with somebody else.
Oh, that
It's
was.
just
I've
not the
got.
same,
I've got to
is it?
say that was fucking atrocious. That
Yes.
was absolutely atrocious. But Black Sabbath did it, and they did it with Ronnie James Dio, and it was actually quite bloody
Yes,
good.
yes.
It was actually really
That's
good.
so that's one exception.
Yeah,
where,
exactly.
where they can have a
Exactly.
different front man and it'd be like up there.
Yeah, Foreskins did it.
Actually,
you know,
yes.
so they can do it, but sometimes they just can't. You know, it's
That's
like
it.
when John Bonham from Led Zeppelin died, they just couldn't carry on.
It just doesn't have the same feel. Just imagine them not having the same feel.
Exactly, they haven't got the main drummer, like that powerhouse drummer, and it's not the same. It's just not. You know, some bands. When Neil Peart from Rush died, Rush just couldn't.
Oh, they discontinued, did they? Did
Yeah,
Rush?
because they just couldn't stay. You know, they've done like little projects and stuff like that, but it's not. It's
not
just
the
not.
same, is
It's not
it?
the same. No, of course it's not. So I kind of get that, and I think that was the right thing to do.
Yes. They know they feel it's when they know it's not right and they discontinue.
They discontinue as a business, but they go into other things as well
yes,
as
yes.
musicians. So they're not, you know, it's not just like let's knock it on the head and just be a recluse. You know, it's you know, unless you know Sid Barrett of Pink Floyd.
Oh,
Yeah.
who locked himself away.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
Right.
it.
So
Digress again.
Mrs. Moonstomper. One for me, one for you. And one for you, one for me.
Ow. Oh. Yes, Mr. Moonstomper.
Have you got anything else?
I could think of nothing else. No.
No?
No, not this time.
What have we got coming up next week, Mrs. Moonstomper?
Anything Angelic Upstarts? Not agnostic. Is it agnostic on the list?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Oh, right,
Well, yeah,
yes.
we're going to get to it eventually. Yeah, we've got a lot to get through.
I know. Like
Yeah,
I always say, I'm just repeating myself. We got this and we got that. Is it this
Yeah.
and is it that?
Yeah, you're going to have to tune in and find out, guys. But you'll see it sort of Thursday or Friday when it pops up as a premiere.
Premiere.
Yeah, so,
Premiere.
and then we've got an Easter special coming up.
Is it Easter come St George's or is
Well,
that different?
St George's, I think it's the week after, isn't it?
I
Really?
see.
So we'll split those, but I think we should have two. But you know, we'll have we'll have something really good for that, hopefully.
Yes.
And yeah, and then
Keep them peeled.
yeah, keep them peeled. And guys, if you're in a band, don't forget. Send us your bits and bobs. We want to hear it. You know.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
Let's hear your music.
Yes, let's hear it. Yes, come
Let's
on.
hear it. Let's get it out there. And then what we want to do later in the year is we want to do a programme like Battle of the Bands dedicated to all those who are in a band
Oh yes.
who for some reason don't get the airplay, don't get the coverage. Not that we've got massive airplay, not that
No.
we've got lot of sway, but let's get it out there. Every little helps,
That's
does it not?
yeah. Get it out there, let everybody
Yeah.
hear it. Share the tunes.
And we can vote on it as well. Who's got the best?
Oh.
Who's got the worst? You know, let's see, make it a competition.
That's it, spread it
Yeah.
man, spread it.
And then don't forget, coming up, I think towards the, don't know when that is actually. We've got to invent something so we can get rid of your horrible prizes, my horrible prizes, and the horrible main prize of that beautiful MA1 jacket in sage green in a large.
Yes.
Brand spanking new, still in the wrapper,
That's it.
been hanging around the studio for ever and ever and ever. And
Saying something.
yeah.
Win me.
well, it is saying win, mate, absolutely. But to win it, you've got to be in it.
Yes, as they
Yeah.
say. Yes.
Exactly that.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
there.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And we've got a documentary coming up as well, which we're working on right now, but we're not
Yeah.
going to spoil that, and that'll be independent of Moonstomper Originals.
Can I say who's in it?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, you
Oh,
can't.
all right. I'm not in it. It's not me. So
No, and not me either. Yeah. It's somebody else.
Yes, somebody
Yeah.
else. Alright, that's all I'm going to say. And after that, it's.
It is, yeah. Trevor McDonald. No, just joking.
One woman.
No, okay, right, so, yeah, nothing
Yeah,
else? No? Okay, no sillies, good, jolly good. That's what I want to hear. Right,
Yes.
okay. So,
Okay.
guys, I've been Mr. Moonstomper, and as ever, I love you all, and peace out.
Peace out. Love ya. See you next time.
Stevie, take this bag to my brother Larry down the scrapyard, and whatever you do, don't open it. Don't open it.